My name is Alex Roque. My pronouns are he and him, and I'm the president and executive director of the Ollie Forney Center.
My name is Emmett Schilling. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I'm the executive director for the Transgender Education Network of Texas, better known as TENT.
Hi, my name is Kiki Rosario. I'm the co-founder of Spill the Tea Cafe Clinic, and we are here today to talk a little bit more about the LGBTQIA youth. Okay, let's see what we got here. How can I be an ally to the LGBTQIA plus community?
I think we have so many, I think we represent different parts of the community in so many different ways. You know, for us as it relates to LGBTQ young people is to help to create safe spaces and affirmation for them. And I think it applies to all of us collectively. However, LGBTQ youth are 8 times more likely to be unhoused or homeless than their counterparts because of family rejection. So creating safe spaces in community, in schools, in places of worship is critical because they may be at the verge of homelessness statistically.
I think for one of the things that kind of shocks people when I talk to especially corporations, and I'll charge them with an action item, and it's to interrupt misogyny. Because if we don't understand that transphobia, homophobia wouldn't be there without misogyny, and we understand that, and I think people have a ability to comprehend when they see sexism and then are able to link it to, it begins to grow an uglier disease. And really just at this point, I think educating yourself, don't go off of like your Facebook articles or whatever it is. Really look into what physicians are saying, what people that are experts in the field. You don't have to take my word for it, but it is important that people find the actual truth and the actual education, the facts about the community, because I really believe most people are really good at heart, and when they understand what the trans community is up against and open their eyes to that they'll be moved to help.
It's very important for us, specifically those cisgender folks, that we might not quite be in the shoes of those who are LGBTQIA youth or, in the community, but we are that shield that should be standing in front of that crowd. We should be able to take that hate to protect those other ones that are more marginalized. For those that didn't know, it truly just takes one supportive adult to reduce suicide rates among our LGBTQIA youth by 40%. And that is something so simple as like, hey, Emmett, how are you doing today? How is school? Is there anything that I can do to help you?
I have to add, I think that to that point too, and how life-saving it is to see someone and affirm someone their identities, just having pronouns, they're so critical and such a very simple and essential step to affirming someone's identity is life-saving. So on your social media profiles and your work emails and things like that.
Pronouns on emails actually came about not because of trans people, but because of international business and email correspondence. You couldn't see who the person was. A lot of times you didn't recognize like the name because they would be international, and so people were not sure on like how to address. And that's actually how pronouns on emails came about. So,
how can I help the LGBT community in the current political climate?
Yeah, you should tell us more about that. Expert on this is your time to shine.
Yeah.
Without, I think, voting. Right now, we're in a presidential year. And one of the things that we know is state and municipal elections matter a lot.
If I can add to that, one of the things I think the education piece and understanding like how power, like what the impact is. In 2023, over 543 anti-LGBTQ bills were introduced in our country. Not all bills become law, but all acts of hate are hurtful. And what we know statistically is that every time there was an anti-LGBTQ bill presented in the media, there was a 400% increase to suicide hotlines by young people, right? And we are in a time where our community is under attack in really awful ways. So this time of election, this time of voting politically, has implications that can save lives, and that thinking about the people that we're putting in office and how they are responding to the needs of our community. And it's not just LGBTQ communities, but largely we are the center of attack right now.
So much right now, the political rhetoric is fueled by misinformation. The narrative has been created for us And, it's not necessarily recent. Like, you can go to media of Mrs. Doubtfire, of Tu Wong Fu, where time and time again, trans people have become a punchline. And in that, also, like, I think robbed us of our humanity slowly. And then when we saw the legislation come in, it was putting a magnifying glass on a population that really hadn't had enough power, hadn't had enough ability to inform, educate people about who we are. And so one of the things that I try to explain to folks is that transness is one part of who I am, but there's other factors at play that make me a whole, complete person. And we really need to understand, I think we're in a time right now to stand up for our neighbors, to see what we feel is wrong, and get involved. People will be really surprised at what I've really come to find is true, which is there's more that we have in common than what separates us.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Texas accounted for over half of those bills from last year.
Wow.
And, I will say, for the amount of bills that we got hit with that were anti, we were able to file over 140, I think we were 145 good bills. In the midst of things, I think, the power of reminding ourselves that we're okay just as we are, and we have power, and we have solidarity, and we have joy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last but not least.
Last one. What role does social media play in the LGBTQ plus community?
Okay, I would like to say that, we are very fortunate that for us, most of our teens have come from social media. So the power that it holds, it's pretty strong. But also, whenever we get featured on the local media, and we're talking about the work that we're doing, we just get a lot of hate. And that's something that our kiddos are seeing.
Yeah, I think that it has its incredible opportunity to connect our community. We need to create safer spaces online. What we do know as it relates to social media is that 83% of LGBTQ young people in schools are underengaged or skip school or classes because of bullying. Social media broke down those walls and made bullying available in your hands. So young people, particularly LGBTQ youth, have higher incidences of bullying since the advent of social media over the past couple of decades. And the impact of the mental health is something that is being further developed and understood. So absolutely creating safe spaces, affirming spaces is so important.
Social media, I think, is, like anything, it's a double-edged sword with any tool. The bullying and the access that kids have to be cruel to each other, I think is pretty unprecedented. But in the wake of COVID, I think one thing that we really understood was also the importance of young people that are queer and trans being able to find each other and find community online while everybody was quarantined and locked down. And also, we're seeing, an understanding that Zoom meetings don't cut it necessarily. It's important to share a physical space with people, to be together, to understand, I think, things that are intrinsically just connective about us.